Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nitin Srivastava, and I am the Global Head of Data and Analytics for Dr. Martens. And I'm here with Kuntal Malia, who's the Chief AI and Data Officer for Metro Brands. So, welcome, Kuntal, over here.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's quite interesting that both of us are from the same industry. So this should be an interesting, quick discussion. So I guess, Nitin, what are you seeing in GenAI use case that excites you and has got you all charged up, considering that you've been in this space for so long? What is it that you're excited about?
So, Kuntal, I would say that analytics is no more a rear view mirror today, right? I take it more serious. In the past, what we used to do, we used to analyze the data and do a kind of a postmortem and don't know what to do, right? So I think that is something which is a big shift is happening because of the Gen AI.
Hmm.
Now you are able to see what is coming in, right? And why exactly it is happening and how can you take an action on top of it. So that's something which is really driving Gen AI over here. One of the use case I can tell you which is very interesting and close to my heart is that we used to have all these ML models in the past, example like the churn model, right? We know
Right.
which customer is going to churn out very soon and they're not going to come back, but what to do next. And that's where business was struggling. Sometimes they used to feel, okay, maybe this is because of the price which we are offering, or
Right.
maybe they are not really interested. So that's the kind of thing, a lot of assumptions were being made. And what we have observed is that when you basically bring generative AI, your LLMs on top of your traditional AI models, we observed that uh, we were able to do the reasoning of it, why exactly the customer is going to churn out. And what we observed is that very interesting thing, that sometimes you give early access to your customer for certain products, right? And these are some of the HNI customers who really want to take it, the first grab that kind of a product, which came out when our generative AI started looking at the data which is coming from sales transactions. They also saw the behavior of your loyalty program customers, and then they were also listening to your social side of it, right? People do write a lot on your X and Instagram, and they are telling what they're feeling. I think that's where it really helped us out to understand why exactly our customers are going to churn out. And we were
Right.
able to take an action right on the time so that we could avoid those kind of a scenarios. So that was one of the very, very strong thing where I say it's more like your GPS, which if we have used the Google Maps, right, it will tell you, do you need to take a detour when you are really driving itself,
Yeah.
or you want to change the path. So that's the biggest benefit I see that GenAI is bringing in today.
No, and I think it's also coming in at a time that's very critical for the retail industry. We both having been in this industry, we know what the industry is going through worldwide and in India, right? Where there's pressure on sales, there's pressure on margins, and so for companies to have the ability to have a tool which allows them to kind of now cope up and at the same time not spend an extraordinary amount of money, I think is actually great. I think from my angle, what excites me, and again, it is around marketing, but I guess that also shows where our focus is and what is top of mind for us, is the ability to generate content, and generate content fast, generate content that is personalized, that actually can be modified very quickly by people on the ground, and you don't necessarily need to depend on agencies or a lot of external people. And I think we're actually seeing a scenario where, the images that we're generating, the text that we're generating, are not just influenced by what we say, but they can be influenced potentially by social media sentiment, as you said, by customer personas or customer segments, by customer life stage, by analysis of what previous campaigns did, what worked, what didn't work. And that entire richness, which earlier would have taken a company a tremendous amount of time to do, now is capable of happening really fast. And to me, I'm not sure whether those images, the exact images, are the ones that will work. But what I like about this entire capability is that it allows the marketer to go ahead and create multiple images in multiple different tonalities or different concepts, test each one out, and then see which one has impact or not, and go full scale. So their entire cycle is shortening, right? I think that's one thing that I find very powerful. Two, we've always been talking about hyper personalization in in the world of AI or marketing, and I think now we're at a place where it is actually possible to create content that speaks to that one person for that moment in time and is relevant literally whether they're walking into the store or whether they're going to be online, right? So I find it really, really exciting. And to me, it's a massive opportunity for retailers, any company that is consumer facing, to go ahead and start building and investing on that front.
Great, great. And I can resonate with the one which you are talking about, right? So we did a similar kind of a thing in my past organization where we were selling almost 2.5 million products, right? And to create a content for that or for your online site was taking a toll, right? Because you need to have so many people literally sitting down and creating the description of each of your product, and
Right.
that is something which we were able to automate using our OpenAI models. And today I can tell you the same team members, they are doing much useful work. People may say, okay, you are this is basically you are going to eliminate the roles, but I would say it's not about elimination of the
Yeah.
roles. Now we are using these team members to do something very much valuable, and also they are picking up some of those skills on the AI side of it. And this is one of the thing I feel, that generative AI is not going to be there only for the data and analytics team in the future. I
Yes.
think it's going to help many people across the organization. I think that that's another thing I just wanted to add what you mentioned.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that brings me to the aspect as we were thinking about AI adoption, right? I do truly believe that this wave is, in that sense, fundamentally different from what we have seen in the past, especially those of us who have been in the AI and data space for a very long time. I really look at this wave of Gen AI as democratizing AI, right? And what you're seeing across the board in different organizations is those people who don't have necessarily tech skills or engineering skills are able to now go ahead and create apps. They're able to go ahead and create like prototypes. They're creating like interfaces where they have the ability to convey their idea very quickly and they can demonstrate. They don't have to get stuck because they can't access the technical teams, and the technical teams then by default can actually also focus on a lot of other things that are absolutely critical and of higher value and require that engineering expertise, right? So I find this wave extremely exciting, where people are going ahead and building their own applications, their own tools, especially if they don't have those technical skills to begin with. What I think then also happens, though, on the other side, as we look at adoption across the corporate, is ensuring that, okay, this adoption aspect has to start at the leadership level, right? It cannot be for employees. It has to kind of be across at the top, and then it's a matter of percolation. As leaders or as managers, it's important to ensure that we are providing the infrastructure, the guardrails, the governance, all of that is kind of being set, and along with also the time for people to tinker around and do different things, right? Learn and go ahead and implement it. And then I think the one that is the most critical is like, is there literacy around AI and data? And what do you do to ensure that that is there so that the adoption is actually happening and is successful?
Yep, yep, I completely agree. And maybe my last 2 cents on the adoption, I would say that for anyone who's looking into the AI side of it or generative AI, they should first focus on the business problem. This is not a tech wish list, right?
Yes,
And then also looking out where you have a low risk and a high value you are creating. And the third point I would like to highlight is this is not a kind of taken as another tool. In fact, the future of generative AI and AI is that it will be embedded in all your applications and your
absolutely.
workflows. So I think
Absolutely.
that's how the world is going to shape, and we are not going to say that only data and AI people will be working on AI. In fact,
Yes.
application development team, business teams, everyone is going to be part of this journey.
No,
So
absolutely.
that's something I just wanted to highlight. Over to you.
No, and I think that's a wonderful note to end on. It actually gives a lot of charge for the retail industry, which is going through a pretty interesting time. So hopefully, this is one of the ways that they can actually leverage and see themselves out of this current situation that we're in.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thanks for joining. Bye.